Every day, I get one or two of these in the shop. Here's one that you wouldn't think, a 2023 Honda Civic, used car inspection. Almost new, or is it? Bam, right off the start. Look how the fitment is on this bumper. It's all pinched and right here. Look at the gap here. Whenever you see this kind of white stuff here that'll come off with your finger, that's rubbing compound. That means a body guy's been buffing the crap out of that, trying to get paint swirls out of it. Boy, look at that. Let's just open this rear hatch here and have a look. Molding that's tore. Now see, on a 2023, you just wouldn't have that. So the first indication for me is, possible wreck, rear end wreck. Let's take a closer look. Now this is the kind of stuff you do right out at the car lot. Yeah, so look in here. Look at this panel. You see, look, this has been majorly wrecked in the rear. If you can see this here where the paint is crinkled, this is just, you can feel it with your hands. It's just, this car's been majorly wrecked in the rear. Maybe you're okay with that. Maybe the dealer's just closed it and you just want a mechanically sound car. But these are things that you can check real quick. The distance on panels. See how they're not matching up right? Now this is a Honda. They make a pretty nice car. See how close you are here? Wide you are here? Can you see that? That's a quarter of an inch. All right, let's go for a ride. Now on our test drive, what we want to do, we want to listen. Remember, now we've done our eyes. I'm smelling. Sometimes, especially on cars, this is important. A lot of times, cars will be brought up from Louisiana, from Texas, and they call them flood cars. And insurance companies will total them because the car's been underwater. Now, you can dry all your electronics out, but all that water that can be on the circuit boards, the computers, and the wiring harnesses, over time, corrosion is kind of like cancer. You don't just wake up one morning, you die of cancer. Corrosion is just like that. It slowly creeps on you. So you would smell, and if it smells moldy or kind of funky, like dirty, nasty feet, that's an indication maybe this car has been in a flood. So don't ignore that kind of stuff. A lot of times, our brain will just, and then we'll just ignore it. Don't do that. This one doesn't smell that way. I'm just letting you know that, if you do a good used car inspection, you'll use all 5 of your senses to do it. And this is before you take it to a shop. I've got a great product now that'll help you and a shop find the right used car without making a mistake where you're gonna just waste thousands of dollars in unforeseen either repairs or lack of maintenance. Okay, then when you're test driving the car, pitch the car right to left. You're using your ears now and your touch to feel. Is there any changes in noise, like woo 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 on one way, woo 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 on another way? That could be a bad wheel bearing or a bent axle. I don't hear that on this car. Does it track straight? Let go of the steering wheel on a flat road. Does it track straight? Or does it want to start to pull one way or the other? Set your cruise control. Does it accelerate? Go through all the functions. Same with your wipers and your washers. Everybody, when you buy a new used car, unless it's the same car that you're replacing, it's like if you had a new Honda, this was a Honda Civic. If you had a Honda Civic, you'd probably know how to work everything. If you don't, take a moment and familiarize yourself with all the buttons, all the knobs, everything, and make sure they work. Take it up on the freeway, get up to 70, 80 mile an hour, brake hard, make sure you don't have any shimmy in the steering wheel or any looseness. And then if you feel comfortable at that point, go back to, either the used car lot, and you're gonna check some fluids. We'll pull it into my shop because it's hotter than a poker out here in the sunshine, and we will check some fluids, and I'll show you what to look for. I like to have my engine warmed up. Aha, look here. See this headlight assembly right here? Look at this. Somebody's used glue, this black stuff here in these ribs. Look at that. Let's go look at the other side. Not broken here. That tells you somebody is, instead of replacing that bracket for that headlight assembly, they've just glued it together. Big indicator. This thing's been hit in the, definitely in the rear, and now I'm thinking in the front. So this is the last day that we're gonna be offering at a reduced price of $29, my used car inspection manual with video and all the information you need. I hate to say it, but to be like me. You know, you want to be like me when you're going to spend thousands of dollars on a used car. I'm trying as best as I can to give you all the tools you need to save money. So this is a perfect example right here. This is basically a brand new car, but obviously it's not. There's a reason this is sitting on a used car lot. Somebody's wrecked it pretty severely, I can tell so far, with an initial inspection, and you would have known this. You would have known this if you'd purchased this course and understood what you can look at to tell what I've already seen. Now, let's take it up and look out on a lift and see what we can find a little more. Okay, so remember we were in the trunk. Look at this. This is just poor body work. Let me show you here. They've used this seam sealer. This is called seam sealer here. They've used this seam sealer, and see how it's like it looked like some guy just like put it on with his hand, you know, and he's got it everywhere. He's got it on both heads. So this thing has been majorly wrecked here in the rear. So we'll note that and let the customer know. Now, the car's only got 5,000 miles on it. We're definitely not going to be able to tell if all four wheels are straight. Now listen, that's an important thing because you don't have a lot of adjustments on these cars. Some cars you don't have any camber and caster adjustment. And what I mean by that is, you know, you don't want your tires pointed in and out in all different ways, because it'll wear tires unevenly and you'll be chasing it forever and really not be able to fix it because the frame's bent. So what I would recommend when I see a car that's hit like this, and the customer's okay with that, is that they take it to a body shop that has a frame machine and they check the frame points. They can do that for you. I can check the alignment here, but I would also recommend that the frame be checked. All right, now as expected on a car with only 5,000 miles, the brakes are good. There doesn't seem to be any oil leaks or anything like that. I can tell that they've put new under, these are new body panels that they put under here. They're too dang clean. I mean, this is way too clean. You could remove those and start looking at other damage, but I don't think we need to do that. I think we can basically tell the customer, hey, the car's been hit in the front end and the rear end. I will recommend above a used car inspection, this is where there's sometimes a variable. I told you a good used car inspection is going to be between $200 and $500. Sometimes it could be a little more on a diesel truck, especially if you want to have engine oil analysis and things like that done. And I would recommend that. People, I'm already getting comments where people are like, oh, who's going to do that? It's too costly. Okay, don't do it. You know, if you think it's too costly to wait, you know, 3 days, put a deposit on a car contingent upon the oil analysis coming back good, you know, because the dealer's like, well, we want to sell the car. Say, I'll put a deposit on it contingent upon the oil analysis coming back good. And you just, you know, rock back on your heels, slow down there, cowboy, and, you know, wait for the analysis. Then I guess you got money to burn. But if it was me and I spent more than 50 grand, I'd slow down and get the information I need. So we're going to recommend on this car, one step above a used car inspection will be a four-wheel alignment. I want to be able to tell the customer and give them a printout, this is where all four wheels are at, so that they can know, okay, this thing's going to wear out tires, and you know, you probably want to roll away from this thing, or at least all four wheels are straight. It's a concern to me. What we're going to do now is we've done a digital report on the car. I'll send him a copy of that to this point, and I'm going to now call the customer, go over that with him, and then discuss, is he ready to go to the next level, or does he just want to stop and spend no more money because of what I found? If he wants to go to the next level, that's going to be a four-wheel alignment check. Let's go see what he thinks. Hi, this is Dave at Dave's Auto.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. I'm assuming that you're buying, I can see the plates on it, you're buying this from a used car lot. Is it a branded title?
Yeah, it's from Pressman Auto.
Okay, did they kind of give you a heads up on how bad this wreck was?
No, they did not.
Okay, it's bad. I mean, it's not like a little wreck. This thing's been flopped around. You know, the front end's been wrecked, the rear end's been wrecked. It's got sealer seam everywhere, and the panels that should have been replaced weren't. They just pulled them straight in the rear. That whole trunk looks like it was pushed all the way to the back seat, as best as I can tell. Let's just go another step further. You know, we do a lot of these used car inspections, and sometimes, you know, people can get a good deal on these branded titles, and I understand that, you know, maybe what you're looking for is not a perfect car, but a mechanically sound car. Is that kind of, is the price
exactly? Yep.
Okay. If the Honda Civic wasn't a branded title, what would this thing go for? And with the branded title, what's the difference? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000?
It's about 4,000, 5,000 difference.
4,000 to 5,000 difference, as best as you can tell. Okay. Well, that's a substantial amount of money. There's no doubt about it. Mechanically, so far, I can't find anything that's jumping out at me that I'm like, whoa. The body, definitely. But if you're okay with that, I mean, seams don't match up, stuff's not aligned, gaps are bigger than they should be, panels that should have been replaced were just pulled straight. That kind of stuff eventually will start to rust and things like that because the paint has been cracked underneath and you'll have corrosion there. The thing that I cannot tell you, I don't know without doing a four-wheel alignment check whether all these four wheels are straight, or if they're not straight, if they're close enough that there's enough adjustment to make them straight. And then we'd do a printout and then we'd know, okay, all four wheels are straight, forward, up and down. It's not gonna wear tires crazy. That would be my only recommendation above our standard used car inspection.
What about the frame? The frame is safe?
Well, the frame is safe. It's a unibody. I mean, it's, when you say safe, that's a good question. You could take it to a body shop that has a frame rack and have them measure the points on the frame to see if the frame has been pulled straight. Chances are it's not gonna be, okay? It's just the points. I had a body shop for 15 years and I know about this. The chances are on a unibody that it's not gonna be. That's okay as long as the four wheels are straight and it's not gonna cause you a thrust line issue where it's gonna just wear tires and it's not gonna handle right. Again, if this was me making the purchase, I think I would be okay with a four-wheel alignment check and say, okay, it's either good or bad. Now, if it's bad on the four-wheel alignment check, you've saved thousands of dollars and you only had to spend like $350.
And the fact that we can just buy and say, we got a peace of mind that we had it checked.
And and peace of mind is...
Let's do that, Dave.
Okay, we'll get her done, guys. Thanks for talking to me.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
Okay, bye-bye. So there's a perfect example. I mean, honestly, with 30 bays here in my shop, it's just almost a daily thing that people in my neck of the woods are constantly bringing me stuff. Not as new as this, sometimes yes, but cars that, without being looked at by a shop that knows what they're doing it's crazy. I mean, I just can't. It'd be like you buying a home and never having a home inspector go walk through it and tell you everything is wrong with it. Unless you're a general contractor, you're taking a huge risk. So it's the same with the used car. Let's go see what that alignment is. Let me tell you, one of the best investments you can make if you're going to go buy a used car is to get one of these from us with a gauge that costs you less than $100, and you can discover if a car's been painted. See, this is 7. It's almost 8 mil thick compared to what everything else is. Whoa. So, if you got 30 mil thick, that's not just paint, that's Bondo. That 29.2, 6.5. This whole fender, this whole thing is just full of Bondo. Yeah, this stuff has just been squished. Our camber is a little negative, but it's within specs for the vehicle. Our toe's a little off, but toe you can adjust. I'm not that worried about it. Our camber in the front's good. Let's do a caster swing. He's got a little bit of toe adjustment, but there is a toe adjustment on the rear that we can make. And his total toe on the front is a little off, but there's not a problem with the four-wheel alignment that can't be adjusted. But maybe, just maybe, the $350 that he spent here for this used car inspection, he should be able to get at least double that by going back to him and being able to say, hey, you didn't know how bad this is wrecked. You didn't really want to tell me. I'm going to tell you how bad it's wrecked. And I think you're asking a little too much for it. And that's a better, stronger negotiating point than just kicking the tires and walking into the salesman and saying, hey, well, I like the car. Can we take $500 off of it? That never works. Hey, I got some good news for you. It looks like all four wheels are straight. The right rear toe was out a little bit, so we adjusted it, but it came in, you're fine. I think you're good to go. We'll be here till 5:30.
I mean, hey, if I'm not wearing tires out and the baby will run without, mechanical issues, that's all I could ask for, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate your business. Thanks for bringing it to us.
Yeah, of course. We trust you guys full, through and through. Like my dad, we've sent many cars your way, and we find it's the best way to go about purchasing cars at this kind of rate. crossing our T's and dotting our I's with y'all. So thanks for making this super quick and easy.
You bet. Andrew, I'll have somebody send you a link for the balance on it with that alignment, and they'll have that in about 5 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Great. Happy customer. He feels confident, you know, a couple $100, and he can sleep at night knowing that even the car that he's buying that's been wrecked is still a good purchase for him. Customers in my area, 34 years we've been doing this, shops, people, everybody knows, bring it to Dave's and you'll get a good inspection. So I've taken all that knowledge and put it in this program. The used car inspection manual with a 40-minute video. There's lists, there's information, it's a complete package. What I'm hoping here is that you'll be able to take that information and spread that Dave knowledge not only to yourself, but other shop owners across the country. And I'm hoping that things like this will be better for people. They'll have a better experience with the used car purchase. That's worth the money. Thanks.